Hey guys, this is Kaz from Kazakoj. Yes, this is Tan James as well, also, if you're wondering. So, a lot of people have been requesting me to actually make a fighting tutorial, and, well, as you can see based off of this. Well, basically, it's kind of hard to teach fighting. But I'll get started with it. Here, so first I'm going to do fight tutorial. You know, the other day I just typed random stuff in my keyboard and it's my sister's, and it said that the project name was already taken. So I was like, well, that's really sad. All right, so first thing you want to do for stuff like this is you want your skin, and I'm gonna use Addy for this because Addy is great. He's a good fighter. -16. It's funny, the only animation that he ever actually talked in would be Fusion's fan made or unofficial MGB. Like, you actually hear him talk. He's like, "Hey, Fusion, did you say you were angry enough?" Anyways, so you want to center the... Oh crap, I gotta show how I did that. So you want to center the... you want to change the rotation point of the body first thing. So what I would recommend is selecting only the legs and the body, so these down here, and then clicking this little position thing up here, and then changing the Z value to -16 exactly. And then select the entire thing, like just the human in general, and then do 16, not negative but 16 for the Z value. And there you go. So now you have a rotation point, so you can do flips easy, like wee. Right? So now, what you want to do is you want to make sure that these position arrows don't appear anymore. So you just click that for that, and then yeah. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to have our character in a ready stance. So a ready stance could be anything, really. It doesn't have to be specifically like arms up, ready to rumble, no. It can be literally anything. It can be from I'm going to fart to I'm going to wreck you, right? So in this case, Addy's stance would be kind of like his arms out, sort of. So let me get my ready stance. Okay, so there we go. And so there you go. You got your little ready stance. So this is Addy's basically. So he's like, "What you gonna do about it?" He's like, "Come at me," right? So here's Addy, looking all cool and everything. Anyway, so here you want to start with a fight. So for this case, I'm actually going to have a test dummy. So Addy's going to be able to wreck the test dummy. And just for fun, I'm going to get a test dummy skin. Test dummy skin, Minecraft. Okay, so just for fun, just for the hell of it, I'm gonna get a test dummy skin. Alright, so browse, downloads. Damn it. If only it was, there we go. There we go, so we got a test dummy skin. Alright, so now what we want to do is we want to also make the rotation point of the other human. So there's victim and there's fighter. Okay, in a sequence, there's always going to be a victim and a fighter. It's always going to switch around. So one person will be the victim, and the other will be the person who's fighting, right? So the victim is the guy who's getting punched. The fighter is the one who's punching. That will switch around within a fight sequence. So at one point, it will be like, okay, well, fighter, like, say that Addy would be the one fighting. So he would be the one punching the test dummy, and the test dummy would be the victim. and then it would switch eventually to the test dummy being the fighter and Addy being the victim. So here I'm gonna have just a good posture. It doesn't have to be specifically like a ready stance. There's something. Okay, you know what? No, I'm just gonna go with regular Steve because that is not correct. Steve's gonna get wrecked. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have so we have him in his ready stance. Well, we have, okay, so Addy's gonna draw the first punch. So what you're gonna start off with is you're gonna start off with Addy taking a step forward. Or no, actually, Addy drawing back, so kind of turning his body, and you just want to try and keep the foot in the relatively the same place. And then turn the body. And for the fights sequences, you want to usually keep everything at linear transition. So there we go. So you have like an epic. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm trying to remember how I did this because it's been a while since I've actually done a real fighting animation. So you want the legs to have a follow through as well. Oh, that's what it is. You never really want the body to be hunched up. You always, like, just to make it look better, have the body kind of like hunched forward like that. And then I kind of like to have this arm back as well. So there's a follow through arm and then there's a punching arm. So the follow through arm is the arm that isn't doing the punching. The punching arm is the one that's actually doing the hitting. Same goes for the legs. There's a kicking arm and a follow through leg and a kicking leg. So for this case, we have, since neither leg is kicking, they both follow through with the actions of the body turning and the arms, right? So technically, depending on how far the body's turning, you want the follow through arm to be back or forward. In this case, look how far back the body is. You want that to be forward. So like that. And I also want this leg to be back. Notice how the stationary foot, so the foot that's going to be staying on the ground, is relatively in the same spot. That's good. Like, you want, as much as this is hard, you want realism in this. Like, you don't want to kind of keep, you know what I mean. So you'll like try and be as detailed as possible because every detail counts. So what I'm gonna have Addy do now is he's gonna turn the complete opposite direction he just turned. He's going to punch, and he's gonna move forward as well, and he's gonna swing his leg he's gonna swing his follow through leg, the leg that's up, as this is all going on. And he's gonna, let me see. You're also gonna probably want your character to kind of tip forward a little bit. Well, I guess he punches him in the chest. Well, punching in the head is a lot more difficult actually because you can punch in the head, like the body actually movement counts towards punching in the head, so you can do that, So this is for punching in the head. This is for punching in the body. So no one usually goes straight for the head right away. So to add more realism, kind of have him go for the body, kind of knock him out, and then do a jump kick. So you want to do everything one move at a time. So in this case, what I mean is you want how do you explain this? You want to make sure that before you continue on with your fighter's next movement, you want to animate the victim's reaction to the first movement. So in this case, I'm going to create a wall of keyframes where Addy does his build-up. And the rule of fighting for me is you always make the reaction one keyframe slot early. So instead of having them react right here, I have them react right here. So what I mean by that is they as you see here, you always want the legs to have reaction too. That's a good thing. Sorry about my sister in the background. So you see how you never really look. Okay, if you look here, it doesn't look that good, right? Like it just kind of looks off. Well, it's probably because it's longer, but it looks off, right? That's why you keyframe it. So here's the wall of keyframes. So there's a reaction point and there's a reaction start point and a reaction finish point. So reaction start point is basically the wall of keyframes that you have that you set up to kind of verify, like just kind of like where the animation of the reaction starts, basically, right? And then reaction finish point is where the reaction pose finishes. So reaction finish, reaction start, reaction finish, reaction start. You always want them close together, but you want the reaction start point one keyframe before the actual body part makes contact with the human. So it looks better, right? As opposed to this. It just looks like a late reaction. Okay, so now what I'm going to have happen is I'm going to have this guy step back a couple times. So this is where you use the ease transitions for once. So you got to make a quick walking cycle. I forgot, it's backwards walking, not forwards walking. I'm gonna zoom in the keyframes a little more so I can just see. Okay, so as the thing slows down, you want the walking keyframes to be more spaced apart. You want to focus on your syncing with the walking syncing. What? Okay, wait 1 second. I thought I heard my name. Anyways, yeah. So that's a bit weird. Yeah, it's a bit of a difficulty. All right, so So now you want to go to where he's kind of there, and since he just got punched in the stomach, he's probably going to be winded. And one thing I really want to fix is the round bending. So just round bending on the body, but everything else is sharp. So he's probably going to be grabbing his stomach because he's like winded, right? If this is just depending on the character. So he's going to be hunched over because he's winded. So we got that. Looks like he's saying, "Senpai, no." Kind of, maybe have him kind of crouching a little bit. So here we go. So here's the full animation. So there you go. So that's your punch, right? So that's your punch and your reaction. So that's pretty straightforward. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show a pretty advanced trick. I'm jumping through here. What you do is, I never really plan out fights. I just go with the flow, which is more realistic because in a fight you never plan your moves. You always, yes, I've been in one. You always just go with the flow and just go with whatever feels right. So here I'm gonna have Addy kind of spin around and then do a jump reverse kick, kind of like he did in Reality Concept 2. So he's gonna, Addy's gonna be skidding, so there's a reason why he's gonna be, his legs aren't gonna be moving or gonna be stationary. Actually, wait, no, I'm not gonna show. Oh, I remember what I was gonna do. So he's hunched over, right? So in this case, what Addy would do is he would turn up. So he would go like that, turn up. So he would kind of go upright. And well, he's lopsided as hell. Wow. So he would be upright. And here we go. So he would kind of come here, and while Steve is hunched over, he would do a jump kick right towards his face as he's hunched over. So that's what we're gonna do, and that actually is a lot more simpler than it sounds. It's just a lot more painful. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna have Addy kind of go back into his stance. And for this, I would use the back transition. Just kind of give him more realism. A little less effort, a little more realism. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not a pro. I'm not a pro at fighting animations. I've literally just started fighting animations, and I don't plan on doing them a lot. Well, I mean, I have reality that it's going to be a lot of fighting, but I don't plan on doing just fighting animations. I plan on doing cinematic renders like I did in Periscope, which was just released today. You want to have a pause. I just realized. You want to have a pause between when he starts his next movement and when he finishes his previous one. So kind of a pause. So pause. You also want to have good leg movement, so I'm going to have him bring this leg forward so he comes closer. Kind of slides a little bit, doesn't he? Actually, I don't know about the pause for this one. Yeah, no, not for this one. For now, it's just fine. You also want to just try and keep it in a relative spot. And now he's gonna prepare for his little trick. So I'm gonna have him like kind of his upper body full posture stance in the middle of his like movement when he moves forward to try and attack Steve. And when he finishes moving forward, that's when he's gonna get ready. And you see, my style, it's all about like off time, like just timing everything like a little differently. So yeah. Okay, so Addy's gonna do here. I'm gonna get Addy to do a back jump kick, a backflip jump kick. So he's gonna kind of jump in the air, do a backflip, and do a front kick at the same time. So have Addy's arm go. So I'm gonna have my character's arm go up. So you want to have Addy kind of like slightly lean back as if he's just getting ready for that kick. It's kind of like a pre-follow through. And remember, like I said, make sure his... he's a little too far forward here, 1 second. Okay, so you want to have a quick movement here, so maybe like ease cool. So exponential fade for the legs. I'm trying to get fades into the fight sequences just to make it look a little cooler. Okay, sign. Here, how about sign? Sign's good. Yeah. If you want to have a fade in the middle of a fight, I recommend sign. The sign transition. It's like a crossover of linear and quadratic, or quadratic as I call it. And then for this, he's already leaning back. You can see he's already kind of falling back, so you want to have no follow through, and he's just gonna kind of like, his body's gonna kind of fly back. Like I said, round bending, probably best. Head goes back. Kind of quick, isn't that? Okay, here you want to have his legs kind of... Whoops, not his body. What? Did not mean to do that. You want to have his legs kind of reset on him.
Is this garbage?
Yes it is. Have his legs reset position, and then, or not position, sorry. Just kind of... So a delayed takeoff, basically. So, since Addy's ambidextrous, I think he... So this is not going to be the kicking one, this is just going to be the follow through. The final thing to kind of come up would be the kicking one, so it would have the most power. It's kind of like a slingshot. Now, this is where it gets really tricky. In this case, if you look at his rotation point, it's a bit off. you kind of want his rotation point just to be like below him. So what I would do is quickly during takeoff modify his rotation point. So in this case it would be kind of like that. So now his rotation point is below him, just maybe a little more below him would be best. There we go. So now what you want to do is you want to make sure it slides like that. Okay, there we go. There we go. Just kind of keep everything secure. So he's gonna fly up, do a flip, and then his body's gonna kind of lurch forward, and his legs are gonna land first. So you want his leg to kind of delay and then extend. Well, that's a bit weird. He's okay. So in this case, you want to make sure he's at the right distance. Oh wait. Oh, that's what I did wrong. Okay, excluding the part where I said that the front leg would be the follow through. That's not true. The leg that bends back would be the kicking leg. There we go. See? Now he kicks him. So now what you want to have do is have your character land. You want to change his rotation point in midair, which is probably one of the hardest things to do. Yeah, so your follow-through leg comes after. That's right. Okay. Try to keep everything relatively the same speed. And then the last second, you change the rotation point. I believe it's -16. Follow through. So here he's gonna So here he's going to swing his legs forward and hit the ground before his body does. So in this case, his first leg would kind of come and hit the ground. Just kind of lie back like that. Maybe a little closer. So his body would come back like that. There we go. So I know that looks kind of weird if you look at it. It's right, okay, so that leg, this leg extends down here. Okay, this one kind of comes through faster. Now the weird thing here is if you look at the value over here, it's like yeah, there you go. You wanna fix that by doing this, and then just adjusting everything to the right level. So here, I'm just trying to fix everything because I hate it when this happens. You have to do some of this stuff as you go along. None of your moves are gonna end the way they start. Yeah, see, just like that. That's a bit of an issue. Okay, first off, I'm gonna get rid of these arrows because they're just annoying me. Okay, well, I'll continue with that fighting later. First, we need to get the guy's reaction. Okay, so, as I said, keyframe late. So, wall of keyframes, so it's just basically add a keyframe to everything. Okay, in this case, it's a big move, so it would be there would be a keyframe in between. So he would kind of like, his arms would kind of stay forward. Oh god, no, not like that. So kind of like that. There we go. So you would also kind of fly back as well. A bit quicker. Alright, so this is the whole fight sequence as we go. So it's not much. I am really not used to seeing constant fight keyframing because I usually do the slow motion crap. So they do a move, slow motion scene, and then they continue on with the next move. I'm not used to seeing it. An unofficial big. Sorry, I had to answer some questions about MGB. Usually like the players. I don't usually like animating like the victim, but you have to. The fighter is usually the best part to animate. In this case, the fighter would probably. The fighter would probably get back on his feet. I don't know how he would get winded by a punch, but he would survive a kick directly to the face. That like just doesn't make sense. Anyways, well, I'm gonna kind of have to stop it there. We'll continue in another tutorial, but for now, thanks guys for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye.